I got some snap peas. Whoops. Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Nikki, and today's video I've got a Walmart grocery haul that I'm sharing with you guys. So I have lots of stuff that we needed to stock up on when it comes to produce and some 0 point items, and then I got some new things today that I'm excited about. So if you enjoyed this video or find it helpful, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. I had to do that quickly because Adam's been waiting down there.
My legs were shaking.
And you could hear Pluto coming in here. Anyway though, if you do enjoy this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. It really does help me out. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the 0 point items and the produce. Then for the rest of the items, I will be giving the point values on WeightWatchers, as well as popping the nutrition labels on the screen. I like to do these to kind of give some inspiration for different things that I use these items for to help me stay on track with my journey. I lost 70 pounds in April 2020, and I've been maintaining that loss since then. And these are just some of the groceries that I like to repurchase. Like I said, I've got some new things I'm gonna be sharing, but I'm just gonna run through them today, tell you guys how I use them, and give some info on them. Starting with the produce and 0 point items. These are items that I don't track on WeightWatchers, and that's what also makes it more sustainable for me, because having meals that I only have to track a few ingredients for really makes it a lot less overwhelming and just easier for me to actually stay consistent with. So I don't track my 0 point foods, and unless you are set to diabetic mode on WeightWatchers, fruit will be 0 for you. But I got some fruit because I always like to have it after my meals. So specifically grapes, I like to have after my breakfast and lunches when I want something sweet right away. Or if I'm making a snack plate, grapes are always really good for that, and these look nice and crisp. So I got green grapes this time. We always get some bananas for protein shakes and different things like bowls of cereal. I actually have been eating a lot of bowls of cereal lately, and I always put a banana in because it makes it more filling. It's 0 points, and it just tastes really good too. It makes it sweeter without having to have like a super sugary cereal. For Mother's Day, I bought some pre-cut fruit for brunch, and it was actually really good, and it was from Walmart, so I just got it again because it was nice and convenient to have, and I thought for the price it really wasn't too bad for the convenience of it. So sometimes I like to just buy the pineapple myself and cut it, but I always neglect actually cutting it up, and it's just one of those pre-cut fruits that's actually worth it for me because I really enjoy it. Especially when I like to use it for recipes, I'll put it on pizza bakes, and we actually have some Canadian bacon and barbecue sauce that I can cut up and top a pizza bake with some pineapple. So I might use that for this, but I also have just been snacking on it as a good sweet 0 point food. Especially in the summer, I feel like that's when I start to crave fruits like this more. Then we always grab some berries too. We got raspberries, which have been looking better lately, so we grabbed a carton of these, and then some blueberries, which sometimes I'll just use for yogurt, or if I make pancakes or waffles, I like to top them with fresh berries usually. And then actually, speaking of berries, I did get some frozen mixed berries as well. I love these for my yogurt bowl too. And when I'm craving more of like a dessert bowl, that's when I like to use this, because I'll just microwave it and then add the Greek yogurt and then some type of cereal or granola that's like chocolatey, and it is such a good combination, and it just really satisfies that craving for even like ice cream with chocolate and berries. But these are 0 points on WeightWatchers, and I just never realized how much flavor and sweetness the frozen berries actually have. Once I started buying the strawberries, I would buy some other frozen fruits, and the strawberries and the mixed berries are definitely my favorite to use as a base for yogurt bowls. The shredded lettuce looked pretty good, so we grabbed this, which we'll just use for tacos, sandwiches, and burgers. We don't always buy it. We usually just see if it looks like it's gonna go bad soon, because when it does, usually it goes bad really quickly, and this is nice and fresh. So this will last us, and we just use it for different quick recipes, even like nachos, or sometimes if I make like a taco bowl. This makes it taste so much more just like fast food or restaurant meals because they use shredded lettuce like this. And so that's just why I like to buy this and incorporate it from time to time. It really helps, especially with copycat meals. I got some snow peas that I'm going to use to make a stir fry with. I don't know why I was specifically craving these. I think the past couple times I've gotten the sugar snap peas, and so I was just craving these specific pea pods. But I usually just cook them up in some soy sauce, or maybe even like a teriyaki with some other veggies. So maybe I'll cut up some bell pepper, which I got this. I'll use that, or I also use this for veggie mix. And then I was also thinking I might even add some zucchini to the stir fry when I make it. But usually I'll just make the veggies and then some type of protein with it, whether it's like chicken or even like ground turkey or something, or seafood is usually a good option for stir fry. But I'll just cook up the veggies, add the protein in, and then have it with rice or like sesame sesame Thai wheat noodles. Adam grabbed some of these oranges, which they're so tiny this time, but he got these for work. He just packs them easily with his lunches, and they're 0 points and help to satisfy his sweet tooth during the day. For my apples, I've been getting the Cosmic Crisp every time, so these are giant this time. I actually got 2 bags of them, and I'm stocked up because they just last in the fridge for me, and I have one every single day after dinner. But these are really big, and sometimes when they're on the bigger side like this, I like to actually just make a dessert out of them. So I'll slice them up and make some apple nachos usually, and then that really satisfies my sweet tooth. For the veggie mix, I also needed some onions, so I just got some red onions here, and I also just use these for different meals. It's just something that I always have on hand in the fridge. So I pretty much just switch off between buying red and yellow onion, and I needed red this time. And then I've really been enjoying sweet peppers lately, and I was so excited at the store because this one is like all red, which the red ones are always my favorite. I grabbed a bag of these, and I've just been using them for different meals. Sometimes I'll cut them up and just like add them to scrambled eggs or something. Or we also just made some imitation cream cheese crab stuffed peppers with these, and they were so good. So it's just a nice option to have, and it's something a little bit different than the bell peppers I'm used to having. I got some asparagus, which is a good 0 point vegetable side option. I usually like to make this with pasta, or sometimes I even cut it up and add it to the pasta, or other times I'll just put it on a tray and roast it in the oven, and then even the leftovers are good sometimes, and I'll add them to like eggs the next day or something. That's a good 0 point option. I also got some cherry tomatoes, which I like to roast and then toss in pasta. It makes a lightened up pasta sauce that isn't super tomato-y, like the one I make when I make like the Trader Joe's can of sauce. So I just pop these in the air fryer and roast them with some olive oil and some seasoning, some garlic. Sometimes I'll even add some balsamic, and it's just a really flavorful ingredient that I can, like I said, toss in pasta, and it kind of makes a sauce with it. So that's my plan with these, and they're 0 points. Then I also grabbed some shredded hash browns, which are 0 on Weight Watchers now, and a lot of the times I just use these to make breakfast scrambles. Actually, for Mother's Day, I made an egg bake with them, and it was really good. I just added a bag of these hash browns with a bunch of different vegetables, and then some cheese and eggs and a little bit of milk, and I popped it in the oven, and it made a really nice breakfast casserole. I might even do that again as like a meal prep thing because it was super quick and easy to do, and now we've just had it as an option to eat. So I think I might do that soon, but that's why I got another bag of the hash browns. Then I also got a bag of frozen shelled edamame. This is 0 points on Weight Watchers, and one of my favorite 0 point higher protein options. For the serving of a half cup, it's 90 calories and it's got 9 grams of protein, and it definitely helps to make meals more filling. I feel like most of the time I end up using it in like a rice bowl, but it's also really good as an ingredient in like a stir fry or poke bowl, or when I make sesame noodles, sometimes if I don't have a lot of veggies, I like to use edamame as well. This is just a nice, more filling option. It also has 8 grams of fiber in that serving. I feel like it has a pretty mild taste that if you're picky with vegetables and things like that, and especially like different 0 point foods and you're struggling to incorporate them, I really recommend trying edamame because I feel like it's got not too strong of a flavor, whereas like I feel like peas have a pretty strong flavor to them. I like edamame for the reason that I don't think it has that, and I feel like it bulks things up and adds a good texture to them. I always recommend this as a good 0 point option if you're struggling to find some higher protein things. Okay, then some canned veggies I got. I just got some beans because I think I'm gonna be doing like a summer bean salad. So I got some chickpeas, some black beans with no salt added. I usually just try to grab no salt added if I can find it, but it's not a big deal if I can't. But I got pinto beans that are no salt added, and then some corn, also 0 points, and is really good in different like summer salads and salsas. I like to make corn salsa as well. I also got some tomato paste that I use to make tomato sauce for like pizzas and pastas with. And then I always talk about how I like the Trader Joe's tomato sauce. We just go through it so quickly. I don't know how. It seems like we don't use tomato sauce that much, but then we're always out of the cans, and I buy like 4 every time we go, but we're out of it again. So I just got the Great Value one to try. We've tried a couple other brands, and sometimes they give us heartburn, so we're kind of picky with tomato sauce, but I'm gonna see how this one is compared to the one from Trader Joe's. Adam needed some more mustard for his sandwiches for work, so this is just spicy brown mustard. And actually, he's been having wraps more. He kind of switched over from using the sprouted grain bread to just using the higher fiber wraps. And it's just like a taste preference lately. That's what he's been craving. So he still puts the mustard, lunch meat, and lettuce on it, but this is the mustard he got this time. I grabbed some Mio's, or these like flavor water enhancers. This one specifically has caffeine in it, so I'm excited to try this. Just as a lower caffeine option, you just have to be careful not to do too many squirts because it says that one of the servings is 90 milligrams of caffeine, but it's strawberry pineapple and it doesn't add any points or anything to water, so I'm interested to try that. And then I also just got this one. It's a drink enhancer with electrolytes, green apple. So I don't know why the flavor just sounded good. I wanted green apple water, so I'm gonna try it out and see what I think of it. A lot of the times too, I don't really drink much alcohol, but if I do, I like to just flavor water and then have that with like tequila or something to make like a mixed drink instead of like having a lot of like beer or wine or even just making the sugary mixed drinks I used to. So this is always a good option for something like that. So that's kind of what I had in mind for this, and I thought maybe for summer I could do something with the apple. Then I also got some cold brew, which I have been loving the s'mores flavor of this Dunkin' cold brew, but it's kind of hard to find and they don't have it at Walmart. I wanted to try the vanilla. I'm pretty sure I've had it before and I've had the caramel, but I just want to make sure that I have a backup option if I can't keep getting the s'mores, because I still use my Nespresso pods, but I've actually really found that I prefer just using this Dunkin' cold brew concentrate. It's really good with the Quest salted caramel protein shakes, and the pumpkin spice is still one of my favorite flavors, and then the s'mores I think is like my top now, but I'm gonna see what I think about the French vanilla. Okay, moving on to some proteins that I got today. So I just grabbed this pack of chicken breast. This is 2.7 pounds. I think what I'm gonna do is just cook this up and make it into taco meat. I haven't made shredded taco chicken in a while and I'm kind of craving it. So what I'll do is I'll just cut this up and cook it on the stove, and then I put it in a bowl in my KitchenAid mixer and I just shred it up. And then I'll add some taco seasoning packets to it. I stocked up on these today. Another one of those things where it feels like I don't use it that much and we just are always out of it. But this is the Taco Bell mild taco seasoning. I just like to use this because I feel like it tastes like the Taco Bell meat, and it's just our favorite to season the meat with. I tried a couple different brands and we always go back to Taco Bell. This is what I use to season it. I just shred it up and then I'll put a packet or two in, probably two because it's almost 3 pounds of meat, but that'll be a nice 0 point option that'll be prepped in the fridge. And for the serving of 4 ounces of the chicken, it's got 120 calories, 2 grams of fat, and 25 grams of protein. It's nice and filling, and that'll be something different because we haven't had it in a while. I also grabbed some ground chicken, which is now 0 points on WeightWatchers. It's got 160 calories for 4 ounces, 9 grams of fat, and 22 grams of protein. And I might do like chicken burgers or meatballs with this. I always buy it in 2-pound increments because then I can just prep extra of whatever I'm making, whether it's taco meat, burgers, meatballs, or whatever. But I also sometimes like to just separate it and use a pound for a meal if I'm making something specific. If I'm doing like a meat sauce for pasta, I'll sometimes just use one of the pounds, or a stir fry where I just want to use a pound. It just depends on how many veggies I have made with it and stuff. That's what I got this for different meals, and it's 0 points. I also grabbed these sweet Italian turkey sausages. So these scan as 4 points on WeightWatchers. I don't think they were 0. I was kind of thinking they were at first because turkey's now 0, but I don't know what percentage it is lean wise, so I'd have to double check that. But when you scan them, it scans as 4 points. They have 160 calories for one, 10 grams of fat, and 18 grams of protein. We actually have some frozen bone of beef that I bought the other day, and I was gonna be making that. I bought French rolls for it, and usually we don't use the whole pack of French rolls for that, so it'll be nice to make some sausages on rolls. I'll probably cook up some pepper and onion and even add like some hot peppers to it. Okay, this is another thing that's 0 points. It's the brand Ocean's Halo, and this one specifically is wasabi style. So it's like the seaweed papers that you make sushi with, but I honestly like to just use them crumpled up and add it as a topping to bowls. Like when we do like poke style bowls, we'll top them with some seafood, whether it's like tuna or crab or shrimp, and then maybe some carrots, some cucumbers, some veggie mix even, just some different vegetables, and then some of this just adds some really good saltiness and flavor, especially because these are the wasabi flavor. I grabbed some non-fat plain vanilla Greek yogurt, which last time I got yogurt, I got the wrong one, and so I'm glad that I got this one again. I've been missing it. It's definitely different, and I'm kind of picky when it comes to yogurt. So I prefer the Greek yogurt like this. It's 90 calories for the serving of 3/4 cup, which is 3 points on WeightWatchers. Although when I have it, I don't always use a 3-point serving. Sometimes I'll just weigh out a 2-point serving using my food scale. But that serving has 10 carbs, 8 grams of sugar, and 14 grams of protein. And like I said, it's 3 points on WeightWatchers. I'll do a base of yogurt, and then usually I like to top it with some fresh berries or frozen berries. If I do the frozen berries, I heat them up first and then I add the yogurt, but then I'll top it with some type of like cereal or granola, and it is just one of my all-time favorite desserts. It's actually filling and satisfying, but it still satisfies my sweet tooth. Okay, a couple more dairy products that I got. So I needed some light sour cream. This is 2 points for 2 tablespoons on Weight Watchers. Although sometimes I don't even use the full serving, I'll just do a tablespoon for a point. But for that serving, it's got 35 calories, 2.5 grams of fat, 1 carb, 1 gram of sugar, and 2 grams of protein. And I just like this squeeze bottle to top bowls with, or a lot of the times I end up making a different sauce with this. So I'll squeeze a little bit and then add some like Taco Bell mild sauce or something, or we use this for different recipes. So I just needed to stock up on that. I got some queso. So usually I get the mild, but today I decided to try the medium, and it's the Taco Bell cheese sauce. So it's their salsa con queso. It's 90 calories for the serving of 2 tablespoons and 3 points on Weight Watchers, which is a little bit higher for a cheese dip, but I like to just enjoy it in moderation, and especially when I'm trying to make copycat Taco Bell at home, it's a lower point option and a more filling option than if I actually went to Taco Bell. So this is a much better option for me personally because I like to recreate the meals at home. I grabbed some thin slices of cheese for sandwiches, burgers, tuna melts, anything that I use cheese for. I've really been liking the slices over the shredded, and I still get the shredded cheese, but I definitely reach for the slices more. It's just convenient, and I like that the thin slices can be like laid over and melted on things like open face sandwiches, which I like to have a lot of. For the serving for the Colby Jack, it's 6 points for 3 slices. For the provolone, it is 5 points, but if you just have one of the thin slices, it's 2 points on Weight Watchers for both of them. For the Colby Jack, it's 120 calories, 10 grams of fat, and it's got 8 grams of protein in 3 slices. It has 3 grams of protein in 1 slice, and so does the provolone, which is 110 calories for 3 slices and 8 grams of protein for 3. Both of these I'll just use for a bunch of different things, but I like that they have the option of the thin cut slices. Sometimes it's kind of hard to find those. Then, like I said, I did still get some shredded cheese. This is just the Great Value brand reduced fat Fiesta blend. It scans as 4 points, but when you actually type in the nutrition, it is 3 points for the serving, which is normal for a reduced fat cheese like this. It's 90 calories for that serving, 6 grams of fat, 2 carbs, and 7 grams of protein. Okay, a couple things we grabbed in the freezer section. Actually, we only got 2 things it looks like. So we got these Veggies Made Great tomato basil frittatas. Adam loves these for work. They're just really convenient for him to pack. And these are my favorite flavor, definitely, of the different ones that we've tried. For the serving of 1 frittata, it's 80 calories. It's got 5 grams of fat, 5 carbs, 1 gram of fiber, 2 grams of sugar, and 5 grams of protein. And for this flavor specifically, it's 1 point for 1 and 3 points for 2, which I feel like Adam and I usually have 2 at a time because I like to make them and then cut them in half and put them on like an English muffin or bagel or toast even to make like a sandwich out of them. And then he just likes to pack them as a quick snack that he can pop in the microwave and eat at work. This is just the tomato basil flavor. It's one of our favorites. And then I also just grabbed these this time because we haven't had them in a while and we enjoy them as a nice freezer option. Sometimes I just don't have time to make a dinner, and this is something that even if it's not filling enough for me to just have this, I can add ingredients to it to bulk it up, or sometimes it is just enough, especially if I'm just having it as like a quick lunch or something. But the entire thing's only 5 points on Weight Watchers, and it's the Scott and John's garlic butter shrimp. For the bowl, it's got 270 calories, 4.5 grams of fat, it's got 43 carbs, 1 gram of fiber, 1 gram of sugar, and 15 grams of protein. Sometimes I'll add extra veggies or even extra protein to this, but I just thought that these would be nice to have in the freezer ready when we need just like a quick option. Okay, I grabbed a box of Barilla Protein Plus Penne because we just always need more of this pasta, and it is my all-time favorite as a lower point option. It's 4 points for the serving of 2 ounces dry, or 6 points for 3 ounces dry, which is usually the serving I use. But for the 2 ounce serving, it's got 190 calories, 1 gram of fat, 38 carbs, 5 grams of fiber, and 10 grams of protein. This is just the pasta that I use every time I make it for dinner, for lunches, tuna noodles with red sauce, with olive oil, whatever pasta I'm making, this is always one of our all-time favorites. I would say al dente is probably our second favorite brand, but this is the one that I pretty much make every time. I grabbed these pitas and didn't even realize they're only 1 point per pita. So these are the Joseph's Flax, Oat Bran, and Whole Wheat pita breads. They are 1 point per pita, 60 calories, 1.5 grams of fat. They have 9 carbs, 2 grams of fiber, and 6 grams of protein. And I have been loving just doing like quick open-faced flatbreads and stuff lately. So that's kind of what I had in mind when I bought these, and especially if they're only 1 point. Even putting like a can of tuna, then I can put some cheese on top and just make like a mini little pizza flatbread thing. So I know that you can cut them open and use them like this, but I think I'm gonna probably use them more as like a flatbread. And then we just got these tortillas. We usually like to get the higher fiber La Banderita tortillas, but these ones I feel like taste just a little bit more like regular flour tortillas, and they're 2 points for 1 on Weight Watchers. It's got 60 calories in one, 3.5 grams of fat, 14 carbs, 14 grams of fiber, and 7 grams of protein. I think that we'll just use these for quesadillas, breakfast wraps, even just like chicken and hummus and veggies. Makes a nice filling meal, and that's probably what we'll use those for. Okay, then the rest of the stuff that I got. So one of the main things I wanted to get while we were there were some of these sparkling ice caffeine drinks. So they did have 4 packs of these 2 flavors, and I grabbed both of them. This is the black raspberry and then blue raspberry. They're 0 points on WeightWatchers. They have 70 milligrams of caffeine, and I've honestly just really been enjoying them. Even over pop and stuff, I've been craving these and find that they're just refreshing and have the perfect amount of caffeine. So I got a box of those flavors, and then my favorite flavor lately has been the citrus one, which is the green can. So they had those individual, and I just already put them in the fridge outside, but I grabbed 10 of those. I've got those stocked up, and that's just been a nice hydrating thing that I can have throughout the day. It has some flavor and some caffeine. I show these a lot, but these are the Planters Nut Duos, and it's the ranch almonds and buffalo cashews. So good. It's a little bit of a higher point option. It's 6 points for the serving, but all nuts are, and I always keep that in mind. It's still something I incorporate because they're a healthy fat and they're something that I enjoy. But for the serving of a 1/4 cup, it's 6 points, 170 calories, 13 grams of fat, 10 carbs, 2 grams of fiber, 4 grams of sugar, and 4 grams of protein. We also got some Love Crunch, which is 4 points for the serving of a 1/4 cup on WeightWatchers, and a lot of the times I just use a half serving when I'm doing like a yogurt bowl. It adds the perfect chocolatey crunch, especially with the frozen mixed berries. That's like my favorite combo lately. But this is the dark chocolate peanut butter granola. It's 150 calories for a 1/4 cup, 5 grams of fat. It's got 18 carbs, 2 grams of fiber, 6 grams of sugar, and 4 grams of protein. Okay, the last few things. So we saw these on clearance. They were actually $2 for a bag, so we got a couple. We had recently tried these, and I've actually really been enjoying them with my snack plates with tuna and with my spinach and kale dip that I get from Trader Joe's. The serving is about 14 pretzels, and they're like a mini size like this, but for 14 of them, it's 4 points on WeightWatchers, 130 calories, 4.5 grams of fat. It's got 19 carbs and then 2 grams of protein in that serving. And this flavor is spicy ranch, but they have a couple. They have a honey mustard one that's really good too. And that's just something that I like to have for snack plates and stuff like that. So I was excited that we found those on sale. Then this is something that I don't have all the time, and it's a little bit higher point. We tried them, I think, in a snack review. They're Bobo's apple pie stuffed oat bites, and they're 6 points on WeightWatchers. So for the size of them, I feel like it's not really worth 6 points, but they are really good. And one of the things that sometimes, like in the morning, I wake up and my stomach hurts and I just cannot eat anything, but I want to have something before the gym. This is something that for some reason I can just stomach, and I found that I can have. So I bought these to just kind of have as an option when I want to have them and I'm feeling that way, or when I'm craving them, because they are a really good sweet treat. They've got 140 calories for one, 4 grams of fat, 25 carbs, 2 grams of fiber, 10 grams of sugar, and 2 grams of protein. They're gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, and vegan, and I really do like the filling that they have. It's just something that I like to enjoy in moderation, because I feel like for the size and how they're not as satisfying, 6 points is a little bit higher for them, but a good option that I like. And then we recently tried these in a snack review and really liked them, so I had to grab another box. These are the Ready Mint protein bars. They're 180 calories for one, 5 grams of fat, 24 carbs, 7 grams of fiber. They have 10 grams of sugar and 15 grams of protein, and they're 5 points for one. So I really like to have these as a higher protein dessert option when I'm craving something sweet and minty and chocolatey. That's gonna wrap up the haul for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this and found it helpful. If you did, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.